Hey there, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're talking about reclaiming those cramped spaces and totally transforming them from cluttered traps into, well, airy sanctuaries. If you live in a small home, an apartment, or maybe you just have that one tiny room that seems to literally swallow everything you own, you are absolutely in the right place. We're going to break down a strategy we like to call the space multiplier framework.
So let's just dive right into it. Are you feeling constantly overwhelmed by clutter? Kind of constrained by a total lack of floor space? You know that feeling where you walk into a room and instead of just relaxing, your eyes immediately zero in on these giant piles on the floor, or overflowing surfaces where items just don't seem to have a home? Look, you're definitely not alone here. In tiny rooms, literally every single square inch matters. And when you run out of floor space, the room instantly feels like a giant box just closing in on you. And the thing is, clutter isn't just a physical problem. It creates real, genuine mental claustrophobia. Your physical environment directly dictates your mental state. You know, a jammed, messy room creates this very real discomfort and pressure. But hey, the good news? You absolutely, 100%, do not have to settle for living in a messy, anxiety-inducing space just because your square footage is on the smaller side. So how do we fix it? We're going to solve this using that space multiplier framework. First up is the essential subtraction phase, using the 3-box declutter method. Then, we'll elevate with vertical wall shelving, unlock the hidden potential of underbed storage, and finally, lock in the maintenance to keep your newly found space. All right, let's get into phase 1, subtraction, focusing on the 3-box declutter method. Here's the hard truth. You cannot organize clutter. You can only eliminate it. So to deal with the mess, you have to categorize every single item in the room using a really strict 3-box protocol. Box 1, that's for the things you're keeping, the absolute essentials, things you actually use, and stuff that brings you joy. Box 2 is for giving away or donating. Think duplicates, clothes you haven't worn in a year, or things just gathering dust. And box 3, pure trash. The rule here is super strict. You pick up an item, it must go into one of these 3 boxes. Actually, scratch that. There are no maybe piles allowed at all. Once you've removed the excess, then and only then are you finally ready to multiply your space. Moving right along to phase 2, addition by elevation, it's time to look up with vertical wall shelving. Think about it. When your floor is completely packed, the only way to go is up. You've got to shift your perspective and work vertically, using every available bit of wall space to reclaim your room's functional surface area. I mean, we're all so conditioned to look down for storage, right? Tables, floors, low cabinets. But in a tiny room, your walls are basically your most valuable, totally untapped real estate. By moving items off horizontal surfaces and up onto vertical planes, you instantly create the illusion and the reality of a much larger, breathable room. Okay, so implementing a few specific tools makes this vertical shift totally doable. First, floating shelves. These are absolute lifesavers for narrow spaces like tiny bathrooms or entryways because they give you a place to stack items without eating into your footprint. Then there are pegboards. And hey, they aren't just for garages anymore. They are highly customizable for maximizing vertical space, perfect for small kitchen tools or craft supplies. Also, don't sleep on a simple over-the-door rack. It can hold literally everything from winter accessories to pantry snacks to cleaning supplies. And finally, tension rods. These guys can be squeezed into tiny, tight spaces, like under a sink, to multiply your usable space in a flash. All right, phase 3, addition by concealment. Let's unlock the hidden potential of underbed storage. So the bed is usually the absolute largest piece of furniture in any bedroom, right? It takes up a massive amount of square footage. If you're just letting dust bunnies gather under there, you are missing out on a huge opportunity. By swapping out messy floor piles for sleek, low-profile underbed storage containers or even slim rolling carts, you instantly take back your walkways. It's a real game changer. Using hidden storage like underbed containers ensures that out of sight actually means less visual clutter. And let's be honest, visual clutter is just exhausting to the brain. When you tuck your off-season clothes, extra shoes, or bulky linens into dedicated containers, the whole room just looks pristine. But a quick warning here. Out of sight can sometimes mean out of mind. So to prevent your underbed storage from turning into a massive hidden junk drawer, make sure you're storing categorized, organized items, not just randomly shoving things out of the way. And that brings us to phase 4, maintenance, how we're actually maintaining your brand new clutter-free zone. Keeping up this beautiful, high level of organization relies entirely on consistency. The secret behind a neat space? It isn't magic. It's literally just a system where every single item has an established home. When you use something, you know exactly where to return it. Because without designated spots, like those vertical wall shelves or those underbed containers we just set up,
clutter is absolutely going to creep right back in.
So, to prevent feeling overwhelmed, you gotta adopt a micro wins philosophy. Just spend 10 minutes, literally just 10 minutes each evening, clearing out items that don't belong in the room. You do not need to dedicate a whole exhausting weekend to cleaning. Just grab the items that have naturally migrated to your surfaces throughout the day and put them back in their designated homes. These small, daily baby steps prevent the mess from ever reaching that stressful critical mass again. It is all about consistency.
I want to leave you with a final thought to take into your own home today. Seriously, take a deep breath right now and imagine your newly uncluttered space. What does it look like? Can you see your floor again? Can you picture your favorite items neatly organized on vertical